Put it out. I told my husband to not smoke in the front yard. He makes the whole garage smell. He's like, well, you have addictions too. Yes, I do. But I don't shove chocolate cake down your throat, sir. That's my addiction, is chocolate or sugar. I don't force feed you junk food. Right, John? I don't want to smell your addiction. I don't want my car smelling like your addiction, which I'm going to turn this car in because he has smoked so close to it so many times. I can smell the smoke. I don't want to smell smoke. I have asthma. This guy has respiratory problems. I don't want to smell it. What are we up to? Johnny's been home with a cold, a very mild cold, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous to him, huh, John? So, anyway, he's been home. I gave him an antibiotic this morning, and then I'll give him one tonight. He has a doctor appointment for his flu shot Wednesday, but I don't know if they can see him now since, I don't know what's going on. So anyway, my point is, my days have been pretty much me and John stuck at the hip. Right, John? Stuck at the hip together and haven't been able to do any videos. I'm kind of just sitting with him, or he's sitting on my lap like we do when I feed him. That kind of position where he's sitting up but sitting in front of me, and Chase and I are just trying to, tap him on his back with a cup like this, a cupped hand. So not like this, no patting like that, it's like this. So we're doing that all over his back and a little bit up here in this area too. He's okay with it. It's not his favorite thing to have happen to him, but he's tolerating it fine. So that's that. When I get back home, I want to show you what I've been working on. It's more crocheting. I bought those 2 bags of yarn. I think there's about 25 skeins of yarn, and it was $30, which is so cheap. But I made a couple of those pumpkins. They turned out fine, and then I tried to do some other stuff, and all of a sudden I can't do it anymore. But I think one of the problems, aside from my brain, is the yarns are different kinds of yarn. So I had this really soft, fluffy, pink yarn, and it was really pretty. It just was so hard to work with. I was having a really hard time. I ended up just throwing the whole thing away, but then I took it out of the garbage because I used it as stuffing inside one of the other pumpkins that I made. So I'm finding I really like a firm yarn, nothing too flowy or feathery. I'm having trouble. I'm not good enough at this point to have that ability to flip-flop between yarns. So I'll show you some of the things I've been making. I don't even know what I'm making. I'm just sitting there practicing the stitches over and over and over and over again, watching videos. I'm only doing one stitch, and I don't even know what stitch I'm doing. I don't know if it's a double crochet, triple crochet. I don't think it's a triple. But there's like backwards, upside down, double crochet. I don't know all the terminology. But I've made a few things that I'll probably never wear or ever use. But my goal is to be able to make him a blanket, and I want to do a loose stitch, like with a shell stitch. Have you seen the shell stitch? So it's like It's like 3 stitches in one hole, and it ends up looking kind of like a seashell pattern. That's the one he had when we were in San Jose for most of his life. I don't know what happened to it, John. I don't know if Grandma still has it or what, but we're never going to see it again. So, and it's nice to be able to have something to throw in the car with him, or unfortunately when we're at the hospital, when that happens, if he can have his own little blankie there with him. Crocheted blankets are very tolerated in the washing machine. They do just fine in my experience. So his other blanket that my mom had made him, we had it for probably 15 years, and we always washed it all the time. Anyway, so that's that. I have some other crafts we're gonna do. Oh God, they're so fun. And then there's a craft I really want to do. It is something I used to do, not only in my childhood, but in my 20s, which is ceramics. I love doing ceramics. I am not going to get a kiln. I don't want to be like a professional person. I want air dry clay that looks nice, like a nice, really good quality air dry clay that you can paint and sand and, you know, make it look really nice. So that's coming in the future. I can't wait to do that stuff. But I promised myself I would use all of the yarn before buying the clay. So I am so excited to try the clay stuff. I've never, well, only in school. At the school I worked at, we used air dry clay for the kids, but that was model magic, and it wasn't, it's not like real clay. I mean, it is, but it's not, you know, it's like kid clay. Oh, hubby made me a coffee to go. So we just go to thrift stores a lot. One, because I love them, and two, it's something to do with him. You know, I don't want to go to a mall. I think there's a mall or two here. I don't want to go to a mall. I have absolutely no desire, and I will do anything to not have to go into a mall. I'd rather order something online than go to a mall. I don't feel comfortable in a mall. If you are a subscriber to my other channel, you would have seen probably what I posted about a home invasion attempt at our house the other night. This stuff follows me everywhere we go. I did get my lashes done. They look okay. Anyway, yeah, so hubby and I were sitting on the couch. I have to interrupt myself. So when I posted this video on my other channel, someone in the comments wrote, well, some psychic you are. You don't even know. You didn't even know someone was coming to rob you or whatever. No, it doesn't work that way. We were sitting in the living room watching a movie, and we have 4 cats, and they all like to sit at the window. And so there's always tapping, knocking stuff over. There's always stuff going on with the cats making noise. And I heard a noise, and I turned to the cats, and their ears are all up. It's like, okay, well, that wasn't them, because they're all like, what was that? Well, I look over to my right, and there's a man's face in our window. The funny part is, I didn't even scream. Why didn't I scream? I don't know why I didn't scream. Maybe I did know this was going to happen. I don't know. Why didn't I scream? And I'm like, hey, my husband's sitting right next to me, you know, like right next to me on the sofa. And I'm like, there's a guy at our window. And the guy's like saying stuff, and he's like knocking, and I'm just looking at him. I didn't even get up for a minute. And so Chase jumps up, and he yells across the house for Benjamin to come. And then I then I stand up and I look at the guy. I'm like, what? What are you doing? You know, and the guy's like, let me in. I need help. No. I'm like, just go. And it's like, oh my God, have I turned into my mother? Because I feel like that's something she would do. And I also felt like cussing at him in Spanish because that's what my mom would do. And I'm like, I'm getting the words in Spanish ready to let him have it in Spanish. So weird. And then I'm like, I just look at him, I'm like, no, go, get out, go, just go. But he went around to every exterior door and window and tried to get in. That is terrifying, and that is why I have always said to everybody here in my life and on YouTube, lock your doors and your windows. If you don't have a lock on your window, you put a stick in it on the bottom in the sill, the window sill part, or the track, whatever that is. You put something in there. You can even buy things at the hardware store where you put them on your track and you put them down and you screw them so the window can't be opened all the way or opened at all. So Benjamin called 911 because I couldn't find my phone. And so this guy was apparently higher than a freaking kite. He was driving on one of the main streets where I live, and he rolled his car, hit a tree. It's an area we pass by every day, anytime we go out of the house. He hits the tree, his car's rolling, his weapon is out on the ground, and drugs are out all over the ground as well. So he bailed. That's what he did. He took off. He was trying to hide. But Chase and Benjamin are like, we're going to go out and find the guy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be a widow. No, please don't go anywhere. And I said, we need to call the neighbor next door because I feel like she's home alone a lot with her kids. And Chase is like, no, I'm not gonna do that till we find the guy. So anyway, Chase calls me. He goes, I see the guy. We're walking way behind him. He's walking, and he's just like acting like there's nothing wrong. And so I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, where are you? And so I open the front door and I kind of go outside, and he's right in front of our mailboxes. We have like a community mailbox thing. And all of a sudden, and I've heard this sound before in my 56 years, I hear a car screeching around the corner, and it's the cops, and they barely stopped the car before they were out and had weapons on this man. And, he's face down, his hands are, all that jazz. So, I thought I was okay with it. But the next day, I didn't feel so good. Like, I have PTSD, and sorry, can't think. I was so tired, using up all that adrenaline and stuff, because it's like, I got Johnny. I got to go protect Johnny. And now, Chase is, Benjamin's like, why don't we have a weapon, if you know what I mean? Why don't we have a weapon? Okay, well, this isn't Vermont. We can talk about that later. And then they're like, we're going to get bats. I'm like, you're going to get a bat so that you can be beaten to death with your own bat? That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. No, that's what happens. I don't like that idea one bit. I'm not 100% sure how to get to this place. Anyway, the next day I'm like, I got to take a nap because I was so upset the night before, just adrenaline wise, and I was just twitching and jerking, and I couldn't sleep, and I was like in this weird state of mind. It just was a little upsetting. Okay, Excuse me, you're kind of drippy. He just had, what did you have? Lunch, I guess? Your second lunch, maybe? He's been eating a lot, which is great. Come on, you ready for your nappy? Yeah, okay. Let's see if he's ready for a nap. Just for an hour, maybe. Would that be okay? Okay, good cough. I like the coughing. It's getting all that junk out. Okay, hold on. Let me pull your covers back. Hold on. Okay. Oops. I'll turn that fan off. You don't need that. Okay. All right, I gotcha. Go ahead. Oops, I didn't put a pad down, John. There's one underneath, but I didn't put one on top. Sorry. Okay, you need help to lay down? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. I'll turn your TV on. What do you want to watch? Huh? What do you think? Say good night. I'm going to have a nappy now. Good night. All right, he's all cozy watching Ratatouille in his room. I wanted to show you, before I show you the crocheting stuff, I got this brand new set at a thrift store for $4. I love these. These you can buy at Disneyland at the park. I don't know how much it originally was, but knowing Disney as I do, at least $12.95, probably closer to $20, if not more than that. So kitchen towels, $4. So yeah, super excited. Love it. Okay. Where am I? So I'm making pumpkins. I'm practicing, and I decided to put a pom-pom on this pumpkin. Why? I don't know. I just wanted to see if I could make a pom-pom. So I made a pom-pom. I made a few other ones. I made some mini size ones. So anyway, so that's a pumpkin. This is a pumpkin as well, unfinished. And I thought, well, look at this. This could be a ghost. If this was white, this could be a little ghost. So maybe next year I'll get some white yarn and make some ghosts out of the crochet yarn. But I think that totally looks like a ghost. And then I could sew some little eyes on and a mouth, a big open mouth. Okay, or gather him on top, just like the other one, and make him a pumpkin. Or fold it like this, which looks like a little hat. How hilarious is that? Let me fold it down a little more. And look, it's like a little bowl. It turns like into a little bowl where you can put change or knickknacks, jewelry, I don't know, whatever. Loose diamonds, I don't care. No. Anyway, so there's that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And then I had this yarn. And I've never seen anything like this before. So this is a pumpkin, and it turns out to be an American flag. So here's the blue part with the 50 states, and then the red and white for the original 13 colonies. That is so crazy. But I don't know if I should go ahead and cinch it on top and turn that into a pumpkin, or what. I don't know. I had it sitting over here. Like, I'll show you. I had it sitting covering all my essential oils. And I thought, oh my gosh, now it looks like a cactus. If this was green with a little white running through it, it would totally look like a cactus. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just practicing the stitching. Because I don't want to make a big blanket for Jonathan and have it be all yucky looking. So I don't want any yuck. But let me take you into the dining room and show you my pumpkin patch. Hubby just got home, so he's going to be making noise coming in here. So here's a big pumpkin I made. I sewed some eyes and a mouth. This is a pumpkin, and I just popped a little hat on him. And these, I crocheted little stems for them. And then this one's still like just a little cup. And if you look in the cup, there's a miniature one. Oh my God, stop it. But I'm finding this is like really good for my anxiety. It's just helping me to be still and focus on something and not feel all the anxiety. But that's my little pumpkin patch for now. Hopefully I can keep making stuff and maybe even fancier stuff. So we'll see.